And welcome back to the channel, guys. So today I am playing another challenge match. If you are interested in playing a challenge match with me, feel free to reach out on Instagram at sandrotoplays or directly on my email at sandrotoplays@gmail.com. I am really trying to play more matches, preparing for a lot of tournaments this year. I'm planning a trip to France actually this summer to play a lot of tournaments. And at the end of the day, I just love competing. That's just what I love the most about tennis. Seeing progress, seeing that the progress that I'm making translate into matches, and so I'm always happy to play a match with whoever wants to play, really. And it doesn't really have to be even a full match. We can even play a set or a pro set if you'd like. Yeah, and any level is fine. And really, we just keep it friendly. It's just fun. Just going out there, playing a nice match, have some fun, and connect. So don't hesitate to reach out. I'll definitely respond to you as quickly as I see it, and I will set up some time to play together. So today, tennis match against an opponent who wants to stay anonymous. Because he's not really on social media or anything. He wants to keep his life private, and I'm definitely gonna respect that. The only thing that I can tell you about him is that he used to play for a really good D1 school, so very high level player, and his UTR at the time that he was competing was much higher than mine. Now he only plays on the weekend just for fun. So he's definitely probably not playing at like his best level, and definitely not in competition mode. But he is still an extremely good player, and he probably is the toughest opponent on the channel so far. So that was a super fun match, a super tough match for me, and I just had a lot of fun playing with him. This is actually the second time that we played together in like a match. And the first time I played, he beat me pretty easily. Maybe, I don't know, 20-25 minutes sets. I scored one game. Kind of just made a lot of easy errors in that last game, but it could have been 6-0. He ended up winning 6-1. And so when I lose to players that are much better than me, I'm really not mad, but I actually take that opportunity to ask them questions. I really want to know what they think about my game, what they think about the real difference, between how I play and how they play, and kind of the things that they think I should be working on. And so I asked him. I say, hey, so what do you think about my game? What do you think I should be working on? And what he told me really stuck with me. So what he said is, get comfortable with higher pace. And so basically the difference between him and I was that he was much more comfortable playing tennis at a higher pace. And he gave me an example, and he said, look, I told him first, I was like, okay, playing a lot of tournaments, playing leagues, whenever you play against maybe at that 4-5 or 5-0 level, people will tell you, well, you probably lost because you weren't as consistent as that guy, or he was more consistent than you, he wasn't missing any balls. And there's definitely some truth to that, but then he gave me the example of the pros. And he said, when two top pros play against each other, well, how long do rallies last on average? And the data shows that on average, rallies last 2 to 5 shots. So 2 to 5 shots is not very long, and it's definitely not what we can call consistent. So what is the difference? They actually hit the same forehands and the same backhands and the same serves and the same volleys. We can definitely tell that they move a lot better. And so if they move better and they hit the same way, then rallies should last a lot longer, but they don't. And really the difference is that they can actually hit a lot faster. They swing a lot faster, and they definitely make better decisions as far as shot selection. So I took that advice to heart, and ever since, every time I practice, I try to keep that intensity high, trying to hit harder, swing faster, trying to be more explosive with my legs, and try to get more comfortable. Try to get more comfortable moving, try to get more comfortable hitting harder, and try to get used to faster balls, really. And what I quickly noticed is that swinging fast over and over again is extremely physically demanding. It's very taxing on the body, and I was out of breath very, very quickly. But because I knew why I was trying to be more explosive, why I was trying to keep that intensity high, that really helped me to just keep going. And if you don't give up and you really try to go through it, you're gonna get better a little bit, little by little, but you are definitely gonna get better. And gradually, you're gonna start getting more comfortable with the pace. You're gonna start hitting less enforced errors. You're gonna create more enforced errors from your opponents, and you're gonna end up hitting more winners. And really, that is really the progression of tennis. Now again, this is not for beginners. You still need to master all the shots in tennis before you worry about pace. But once you get to that level, maybe a 4-5 level, once you know how to hit all the shots in tennis, then you can start increasing the intensity of your practice and start swinging faster regularly. And so, fast forward to today, 5 months later, and we are playing again. And this match was brutal. Physically very brutal. And this game now at 3-2 was extremely physically taxing, but super important because I really needed to maintain my break. Really, the only reason why I was able to break him is because he was just not serving well, didn't get too many first serve, even though he has a really good second serve. But I had to maintain this break because when his serve is on, and it's gonna be on very soon, it's extremely hard to break him. His first serve is extremely good, fast. He really can pick his targets, and it's very, very hard to break him. And so it was super crucial for me to maintain that lead and hold serve. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do in this point. I'm gonna be swinging hard, swinging for the fences, and I'm gonna be absolutely gassed. Ooh, and he won a terrific point. Big credits to him for winning that point. I wasn't fully recovered for the next point, but it's 30-all and I'm still in the game, and I can still win it. Ooh. And that was a terrific lob. Really got me there. And at that point, I was not super fresh, I have to say. And another crazy return here, short. That was probably a bit of a miss hit. And so the lob was kind of crazy. The miss hit on the return was a bit unfortunate for me. And that was enough to break. And unfortunately, after that, he started to serve a lot better. Couple double faults here, but you can see his kick serve is pretty nasty, but he started making a whole lot more first serves, and yep, that's what happens when you're tired. You start making some enforced errors here, and so a couple enforced errors here and there, combined with some terrific first serves, and points started to go back very, very quickly. So you see the double faults that he made just before, I feel like he was just getting pretty comfortable picking his spots, and double faults, but not a problem. He just had an ace right after. So that was really not the plan. Now I had to break him again. I was just in a very, very different physical state at this point. And so, yeah, that game turned out to be pretty crucial, to be quite honest, for the rest of the match. But the good thing is that this is why I need to play more matches. This is why, I try to practice with higher intensity so I can get more comfortable with these. Once you are tired, it doesn't really matter how well you want to do. It just gets hard, very hard to just keep up playing at your level. So this was really good. This was a really good learning experience. I just definitely need to just keep working on that physicality, just playing more matches, definitely make better decisions. I could have adjusted a little bit better, but I did not in this match. I could have maybe played a little bit differently when I was tired, but yes, with these serves like that, it was kind of maybe a little bit overwhelming at that point. And so lots of good learning, and definitely motivated to keep playing more matches, keep getting better, and playing him again in the near future. So that was it for this one. We're gonna play the second set. This one is gonna be tough for me, but had a few opportunities here and there, but overall it really didn't matter really the results. This is just a practice match. As long as I'm learning, as long as I take something from it to improve my game, I'm quite happy with the results. And that is the journey of a tennis player. We are now starting the second set, and if you are still here, you probably like it at least a little bit. And if you do, well, just show it to me by pressing this like button right under this video. And after you do that, feel free to ask me in the comment section any questions that you have. If you have questions about this match, if you want me to explain something in more detail, or if you have any questions about tennis, or really any questions, then just do that, and I'll probably respond within 24 hours really. So yeah, let's keep going with this set. So what was the mindset here? That was another very long point, by the way. Mindset was not super good. Well, I was pretty positive. I still want to keep playing well, but clearly he adjusted his game. He's still very aggressive on serve, of course, but he wasn't as aggressive with his ground strokes. He wasn't taking as much risks, but he was defending very well. I don't know if you can notice it, but one difference as well is where he is standing at the baseline, and you can see that the better you get, the closer you can stand at the baseline and just taking balls earlier or more on the rise, and that really takes away a lot of time from your opponents, and so you don't necessarily need to hit harder, but by taking that time away over and over, it just makes it a lot more physical on me. It just gives me less time to recover, and it's just more tiring physically. And again, I think that's why he was just at a better level. It's just because he's just a lot more comfortable playing that way, and I wasn't. So it's a lot of great learning. It's really good to see. Of course, when you play a match, right, you have an idea you want to improve certain things in your game, but this is really not the time to try to come up with something new. You want to put something in place, you want to do what you know as best as you can, but this is not the time to experiment with something completely new, because at the end of the day, execution is just more important than strategy. Doesn't matter if you think this is what you're supposed to be doing. If you're not comfortable doing it, the best strategy is not going to work if you cannot execute on it. And so stick to your plan, keep playing your game, keep playing the best of your ability, at least during that match, and that is really the best you can do. You can make some adjustments here and there depending on what happens, depending on the scoreboard, of course, but most of it is you trying to do what you can the best possible way. And then, you know, if you lost, if it didn't work out, you can use these videos to really analyze what happened and take that to the practice court and work on it. And that is why I highly recommend that you take your camera out and you record yourself. And that's really why I started this channel, to be quite honest with you. It's not because I was trying to get to become like a YouTube star or anything. It was really all about watching myself play so I can see what I actually do on court, because what you think you do and what you actually do is very, very different. And even right now, I'm used to, you know, seeing myself play, so it looks a lot more normal. But when I started, I thought, this is impossible, this is not what I do, and also I look a lot slower than I thought I was. And the camera really gets you right back into reality, and it's just a great way to fast forward your progress by just seeing what you do versus what you think you did. It really kind of puts the whole match into context, seeing, oh, I thought I lost the match because this point or that point, but then you can actually get to watch all the points, and now you realize that there was actually a lot more. Maybe, you know, you can't really pay attention to what your opponent does during a match because you're really focused on the ball, you're really focused on yourself. And by recording those matches, you can see what your opponents actually did that made you uncomfortable. So that's a very big advice that I have for just about any tennis player out there who wants to improve, is to really take your camera and record yourself. Another great guy, Ian Westerman from The Essential Tennis on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you know who he is. Wrote a great book, a great book. If you get the chance to read it, or you can use it on the Libby app for the audiobook. But he basically said the same thing, and he said that number one thing that can really help you improve your tennis is to just record yourself. And whether it's a match or a practice, whatever that you do on the tennis court, just record it, and you don't even need to post it on the internet. You just watch it on your phone or your computer, analyze it, understand what you need to work on, get back on the tennis court, and rinse and repeat. But if you want some really nice quality footage and a really nice looking scoreboard, and you want to play against a really nice guy, well, just hit me up and then we'll play together. And not only I'll do the recording for you, I'll do all of that, and I can even give you some tips, or I'll ask you for tips if you beat me. So we could do that. So yes, like I said earlier in the video, you can just email me at sandratoplays10nis@gmail.com or Instagram at sandratoplays10nis. And if you don't have any of that, just write it in the comment below and I'll respond as well. Let's get back to the set. That was great advice as far as videos, but I'm already down 0-4. That is not great. But you know, even though my opponent's better than me, there is no way I'm going to lose 6-0, because that is just not what I do. That is just not impossible. I'm on serve. This is game point. And I'm going to do whatever I can to win this one. Let's see if I can do it right now. And I did it. That's right. 4-1. Still in there. I still believe that I can win. Now, I'm also very realistic. I don't think that I am going to win, but you just go. Okay, so in tennis, it's very different than like in soccer or in basketball, because in those sports you have a clock, right? And in tennis you don't. And so what that means is that as long as your opponent doesn't win that match point, you're still in the match. And it happens so often that people have match points and they end up losing the match. And that is really the proof that as long as you're in there, as long as you're, it's not match points, as long as you haven't lost it, you're still in there and you can win it. Let me actually share with you the way I think about matches. So here in this example, I am down 5 games to 1. And so a lot of people are gonna think, okay, you lost the first set, you're down 5-1, so you need to win a lot of games, you need to climb up a big mountain. But the reality is that in tennis, you're not actually down. You're still just about as far as you were when you started. And technically, if it's 5-1, I'm actually closer because I've already scored a game. So it doesn't really matter if my opponent won 5 games. Well, maybe if he won 4 games, I still need to win the same amount of games to win the match. So it doesn't really matter, and that's why it happens a lot in Grand Slams when players are down 2 sets to love. They are not technically down 2 sets to love. They are still exactly where they were when they started the match. And sure, they're a little bit tired, but so is their opponent. So, you just mental reset and think of it this way. I still need to win the same amount of games that I needed when I started the match. My opponent is tired. I am tired. Let's just keep playing tennis. Keep playing point by point, game by game, and see where that goes. Let me know in the comment section what you think of that, but I guarantee you that if you think of it this way, it's probably going to give you a little bit more motivation to keep fighting once you are down in the score. And that is it. That is it for this one. It is 5-1, and no, I was not able to come back this time. But no problem at all. I'm gonna go back and practice, and we'll definitely play another match soon. And if you're still here, thank you so much for watching it, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one, which is gonna be another great match. Bye.